me back against the wall. Me no have no friend at all. Jesus taught me how to. Why you don't wake up in the middle? Oh, in the middle of the night. I went me back against the wall. Girl, me no have no friend at all. My Jesus taught me how to pray. Pray, Christian. In the middle. Hey, wave your hand and you know what's in your blood. Push up your hand and you know what's in your blood. Push your hand and you know what's in your blood. In the middle of the night, oh, when me back against the wall, me no have no friend at all. Jesus taught me how to. Why you don't wake up in the middle? Against the wall. Girl, me no have no friend at all. My Jesus taught me how to pray. Pray, Christian. In the middle. Hey, wave your hand and you know what's in your blood. Push up your hand and you know what's in your blood. Push your hand and you know what's in your blood.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
In the middle of the night. Oh, when me back against the wall. Me no have no friend at all. Jesus taught me how to. Why you don't wake up in the middle? Oh, in the middle of the night. I went me back against the wall. Girl, me no have no friend at all. My Jesus taught me how to pray. Pray, Christian. In the middle.
Also, John McKay and some others joining in. So share up the live, man. Share up the live and bring on some folks here, John and Anthony. Share it up. Invite some people to come on and stay with the fireman up until 12 midday. We're also up on the Make We Talk YouTube channel. That's the Jeffrey Tavares Make We Talk YouTube channel as well, as we come to you live from the studios of Newstown 93 FM right here at UWI Mooney campus in the parish of St. Andrew, Jamaica. The numbers to call are 870 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. That's 876-462-0919. Those are the numbers to call. To listen to us on your smartphones and device, we invite you to go to the Apple or Google Play Store and download the News Talk 93 FM app. We also stream live via www.newstalk93fm.net. Go follow us and the various social media spaces. Of course, I mentioned to you that we're up on the Conrad OBrian Facebook page, and of course we are streaming live on the Mekwe Talk YouTube channel. All right, that said, where are we going with the program this morning? But before I go there, let me remind us that this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us indeed rejoice and be glad in it and give God thanks for yet another day as we bask in his goodness and his glory. As for me and my house, we will continue to praise the Lord. All right. That said, where we're going with the program this morning. Coming up momentarily will be Conrad's Take, my editorial piece. And indeed, at 10:10 this morning, we will be having the president for the small and micro business. That's Antoinette Hamilton. She will join us at 10:10 this morning, and certainly at 11:10 we'll be joined by Ethne Miller Simpson, who is the PNP candidate for Northwestern. Yeah. Northwestern, we have Northeastern time, but I think it's Northwest San Andrew. She will be joining us this morning for a discussion as it relates to her choice, her chance in the upcoming election, and certainly her plans for the constituency there. So we'll be talking to Ethne Miller Simpson, PNP candidate. All right. And of course, we'll open the phone lines. We'll take the first set of calls at 9:35, and we're going to ask our callers to be sharp, to the point, and precise. We won't be able to take a caller for more than 5 minutes. The truth is that we have a lot of interest in the program, and sometimes we come under a bit of pressure. We know that people are holding with their credit and so on. So we're going to invite you to just be sharp with your point, and we will allot you as best as possible your 5 minutes. Of course, sometimes in extenuating circumstances, we may allow a little bit of latitude. All right, we ask you to be respectful and so on. And you have to understand that whenever you call radio program like this, you have to engage your ears while you want to speak, but you also have to be listening, because it's not a monologue, it's indeed a dialogue. All right, and I urge person to be respectful. Let's be respectful. All right. And once you are playing by the rules, whether you support the People's National Party, the Jamaica Labour Party, no P at all, you will be allowed. I want to hear from everyone, but you're not going to come here and browbeat me and try to hug the show and that kind of thing. We will cut you. And it doesn't matter if you are PNP, you could have been orange to the core, or you could be as green as the grass. You will be cut. Decency we demand right here at News Talk 93 FM, which is truly Conrad OBrian, the fireman. Man who speak truth to power, no matter who the guy is. All right? We pride ourselves on that. That's our mantra. Okay. Welcome to another edition of Conrad's Take, editorial piece. Jamaica is at a crossroads. As a matter of fact, I think we're in a sad place. And, you know, it pains my heart, but I have to say it nonetheless. Yesterday, when I witnessed members of the clergy, members from the church, and the lawns of Jamaica House with the school bus, and they were blessing the school bus there, as it were. So that's fine. That's fine, you know. But when I saw a part of the ritual there with the minister washing down bus and dousing dust with white rum, and the church was there and they didn't rebuke him on that, I said, where are we going? Where are we really and truly heading? It is something, I don't know what kind of ritual is that. And especially at what you could call, as they say, a blessing ceremony or whatever it was out of order. And certainly, Daryl Vaz must be made to understand that, listen, these kind of nonsensical thing that he is coming on, when this type of gimmicks thing, is not going to save him from the question that we're asking about the $1.4 billion, $1.4 billion with a B, that is spent from the coffers of the Jamaican people towards these 110 old buses, right? And again, let me hasten to say, it is not about a school bus system. It's about how it's been rolled out and the quality of the buses that we get. Now, if we had done this thing the proper way, we wouldn't have to be driving up all over the place with foolishness and which bus can be fit there and which bus can be fit elsewhere. And we wouldn't have to be talking about spending how much money for retrofitting of buses. That would be a non-issue had we just do things decently and don't believe that in everything that we do, pop off for be around the corner for somebody. Because it is clear, it is absolutely clear that $1.4 billion has not been spent on these buses. Where is the money? Where the money gone? And when we call for accountability, we hear that a Mark Golden birth certificate we must ask for. That has absolutely no place in our modern democracy. We call for accountability. And as I said here before, I think that the first casualty of the upcoming general election should be Daryl Vaz. The people should not waste any time to boot him, because he believes that he is our boss. He employed us, not us employ him, because he doesn't believe that he has any responsibility to the Jamaican people to answer questions. His sum total is bad mind, to the point where he gone out and print shirt and say he's on a bad mind tour around Jamaica. Now, if that is not pandering to the lowest common denominator, I don't know what is. You're a minister of government. You're paid by the taxpayers of Jamaica. All the money that you brag and say you spent, it's not your money, sir. It is ours. It is the taxpayers' money. Every single last one of us, to include the beggars on the street. Because the beggars pay tax here in Jamaica because they consume goods and services as well that attract a little thing that is called GCT. And against that background, all of us, every last one of us here in Jamaica, have the remit to demand accountability of our public servants, whether you're on the PNP side or you're on the JLP side. And I find it a little bit troubling. There's also another thing on the same bus saga, where it is said that 110 buses were purchased. But at the same time, we hear that it is only 60 of those buses will be rolled out in September. Why? Is it that the bus, again, they are not fit for purpose, so they are not ready to go on the road? What is the problem? This bus thing, if there's anything, if there's one thing that the people of Jamaica should roll out at the poll and go against, is the way that the school bus system has been implemented. It is wrong. It is an affront to our people, an affront to decency and dignity. We can do things better than this. And here's the kicker. The Prime Minister of Jamaica said that this school bus system was in train from 10 years ago. They have been thinking about this and they have been doing this from 10 years ago. But here, on the other hand, his Minister of Transport, one Daryl Vaz, said that they had to, because of the emergency, they had to enter into an emergency procurement to basically get these buses. We spoke to Wilford Rattigan, attorney at law, former FBI agent, a man who knows himself his way around the blocks. And he showed us one of the buses that he were able, well, he actually got it free, but certainly his friend paid $1 for that bus. And we need better and further particular. I received a call this morning from someone in Florida, and he was asking the question even about the signs that are on the bus, because those signs, when the bus come to a halt, they are not properly affixed and so on. I didn't have enough time to explore the whole thing. I hope he will call through this morning and basically explain even more, because he lived in the United States and he understands this whole school bus system that they actually use there in the United States of America. Also, as I use my next few minutes here, going up to 24 minutes to 10 o'clock, 24 minutes up to 9 o'clock, I'm sorry. Tomorrow, the first tranche of electors will go to the poll. The polls, that is to say, our police officers, our soldiers, and other workers, election day workers, and so on, they will go to the polls tomorrow to poll their votes. One should remember, especially the security officers, that there are certain things that are put out there in the manifesto to ensure that you are getting some benefits at the poll, some benefits from the manifesto rather. And one of the manifesto is offering to the police officers and people generally in Jamaica, to include tourist workers and anybody who work overtime, you're being offered oh my golly. All right, so cool. I have to laugh. So my TikTok account was basically shut down earlier. Now I am up on FB, and my FB account shut down by way of person reporting whatever lies they are telling. My FB account is now shut down. You hear me? I have not said anything out of order or anything. What I'm saying is fit for mainstream radio, let alone social media. I just shut me down on my Conrad Conrad OBrian Facebook page. But, you know, we're up and running, and the people are still listening to us on the radio, on the World Wide Web, and I am still being carried on the Make We Talk YouTube channel. So that's fine. I laugh. So, you know, make sure you understand that you must look out for yourself. You're also offered a tax-free pay up to $3.5 million. Those are things that will benefit you and your children. This government have a way of treating all our public servants, barring none, whether it is the police, the soldiers, the regular worker in the tax office, or anywhere. They have a way of treating them with disdain. Right now, the teachers offers an ultimatum for a meeting for tomorrow because they dare to offer 0%, and the teachers are saying that they will have none of that. So the teachers are indeed seems to be restive at this time, heading into the reopening of schools, and they're demanding a meeting and some answers from the government tomorrow, because there's a feeling that they cannot guarantee normalcy. Those are the things that are there. But next week, Wednesday, you have a business to do, and your fingers, very important, to mark that X and to dip in the ink. That's Conrad's take.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
St. Anne, and you can trust that when you send me to Parliament, you're not have a bench warmer or a table knocker, but you have a champion who is ready to serve you. And so I do not have to ask, but I know no one me ask anyway. Northwest St. Anne, are you ready? See the signal waving in the sky. Reinforcements now appearing. Victory, victory, victory.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
A common misconception is that on election day, you vote for the Prime Minister. However, that is not the case. You vote for your Member of Parliament. Welcome to Notify. Let's break down what really happens at the polling stations. First things first, you must be 18 or older, a Jamaican citizen or Commonwealth resident, and you must be registered with the Electoral Office of Jamaica. On election day, go to your polling station between the times announced. Present your voter's ID, and this will be checked against the voters list. Once verified by the presiding officer, you'll be able to cast your vote. Some polling stations might be using EVIS, the Electronic Voter Identification System, where you will be asked to place a specific finger on a fingerprint scanner to verify your identity. Inside the polling station, you will be provided with a pencil, which you will use to mark an X beside the candidate of your choice. This person will represent your constituency and become your member of parliament. After that, you'll dip your right index finger in ink to show that you've cast your vote. Ensure that you watch as the presiding officer places your unopened ballot into the ballot box. Remember, you're voting for your member of parliament and not directly for the party leader, unless they are your member of parliament. The party leader that wins the most seats across all 63 constituencies becomes the Prime Minister. Once you've made your vote, it's time for the Electoral Office of Jamaica to count the ballots. Stay tuned to find out what happens after the ballots are in. My name is Krista Fuller, and this has been Notify.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
How many times have you woken up? You look around and you feel fed up.
If the government isn't working, why keep them? If the opposition wasn't working when they had the chance, why recycle? Jamaica, it's time for real change. The Jamaica Progressive Party, JPP, is the change you need. North, East, and Catherine. That change starts with your General Secretary of the JPP, Robert Rainford, a pastor and chairman of the Bamboo Industry Association of Jamaica, who has served as permanent secretary in the Ministries of Justice and Local Government, with decades of proven leadership and tireless service to our nation.
I think
Jamaica,
we may be back up
ensuring
on the Conrad OB TikTok Facebook page, and of course we're streaming live on the Make We Talk YouTube channel as well. We invite you to go to the Apple Google Play Store, download the News Talk 93 FM app, and indeed we are up on the 93.3 FM band on your radio. All right, so let's take our first call this morning. Hello, welcome caller.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Hi, how you doing, comrade?
I'm not bad at all.
Give us a quick update as to what is going on down there in St. James. It's election 2025. It's about, 6 days or 7 days to go. Next week, Wednesday. This time, you should be seeing long line all across your parish there.
Long line where?
All across St. James. Next week. No, I'm sorry. Not next week this time. Wednesday. Today's Thursday. Next week, Wednesday. This time. You should be seeing long lines. Yes.
Yes. Well, the two parties, both sides, are campaigning. The only person who I have not seen is the Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister. But she's not visible now, as she said in Shamshire Square on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's when if she's re-elected, her constituency will see her more. So the people are not surprised that they are still not seeing her now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if she's in those nice gated communities campaigning, but nobody seems to be seeing her.
Oh.
Yes, but everybody else, they are out there doing what they are supposed to do. But what I called to talk about,
yes,
is when was it? Monday. Today's what? Thursday? Tuesday. there was an item of news, and it carried over into yesterday as well. The General Secretary of the People's National Party say he has some integrity lamps.
Yes.
And he's going to give them to his constituents.
To his workers, yes?
To his workers, yes.
Indoor and I think outdoor.
The independent, the GLP, so he's an independent member on the EOJ, the GLP independent member. Tom Tavares came out and he said that he can't work because...
They are not the independent member, they are the political representative on the ECG.
Sorry, political representative, sorry. Yes. And he's saying that he can't work because they can't bring anything inside. Now, yesterday I saw someone that in the paper, don't remember which one of them, because it was electronic paper, that the GenSec came out with egg, or ended up with egg on his face. And I said, how unfortunate. You know why it is unfortunate? Because everybody, including Tom, Mr. Tavares Pinson, is missing the big picture. Why on earth Dayton and the PNP have to go invest in an integrity lamp in the first place? That is the big picture. That is what is missing from all of the noise and all of the conversations out there. Why the General Secretary of the PNP have to go invest in an integrity lamp to use to give to the PNP workers on election day? Why? And I would like if the Gleaner Observer or Mr. Finsner or anybody else outside of Dayton and the PNP can answer the question, can answer me. Probably them have a different answer for me. Why is it that Dayton is so full to go invest in an integrity lamp? Why? Are you in love with integrity lamps, so? Well, China or America and these things and I say, oh, beautiful integrity lamps, let me get them and give them to my workers. It is a reason why he has invested in these integrity lamps, because there's some unscrupulous persons out there. It is a level of corruption and key.
Hello? Oh, we lost Comrade. I don't know what's happened. We lost Comrade there. All right. Comrade, I don't know what happened to your phone if you reaching an area there, but we lost the call. Comrade, is still there, Madam Producer?
Hello?
Yes. I don't know what happened just now, Comrade.
I know, but I was hearing you all along.
Oh, we weren't hearing, but yes. I was simply saying to you that we actually read the story here. It was in the Gleaner yesterday, where I think they carried the story to say that the East the EOJ or whatever the rubbish General Secretary argument about integrity lamp, and it went on to say that there will be no, or there can be no allowing of, or there will be no allowing of any integrity lamp different from what is provided by the electoral authority, and they're saying that it is the presiding officer alone who will be allowed to use such instrument. So obviously, they're saying that those lamps that the General Secretary of the PNP talk about to give their workers, it will not fly.
Yes, and I'm saying what they are supposed to address is as why would Dayton Campbell go out of his way and the PNP to invest in these integrity lamps? That is what they are supposed to address. And they can't say, okay, they don't know, because the EOJ has put out, I think actually 4 months ago, after a tweet from one of your favorite callers. You see, so them find the police in a spot check, stop one man, and then find the man with 60,000 fake ID, fake registration ID. The EOJ came out and said, beware of false ID out there, because they are aware that they are false. So that is one of the reasons why we have to get integrity lamp. In 2002 election, when the former Jamaica grant, the REC after the first NEC NEC after the general election, we had 4 people in the debate who were in the them got Jamaica grant at the NEC, because they have the I and PGS, the pretend as it
You're driving, comrade?
No, Mr. Me pull off.
Go ahead.
PJ was pretending he didn't know what was happening, and like he wanted to see his nice, beautiful things. Because we line up the police up there. Where if you lock them up? Because people have been using these things from 2002. I'm sure about. You understand? And until when we lock up 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 of them, some names has been was given to the police Monday of this week. And if these people ever turn up with them, if they ever raid their house, then people will believe. People will start to believe what I'm saying over these years.
Yeah, I agree with you, comrade, because I tell you something, and certainly I believe that, granted the EOJ or ECJ, they have their way of doing their thing, but certainly I believe that the integrity lamp that they can talk about should be allowed to use both parties. If they have their fear, then they should be allowed, because one of the things that you want one man, one vote, same man, same vote. This is a very crucial election, and that is the reason why the General Secretary of the PNP raised this. And it is safe to say that the PNP raise this question because they are suspicious of the other side, because if they thought that their people was doing this, then they would not be going out there with integrity lamps.
I can call name here on here. Some of the people who use these IDs 2007. The big office, the very building where the ID then were make. We're not sure what alcohol, rubbing alcohol on the face. It rub off, it disappear. You understand? So nobody can tell me about fake IDs. So what they are supposed to do is try to clean up the system and say, man, no fear, man, and tap deep and tap chin the system. Because what you end up doing, you end up with if things like this, people end up with a prime minister what they don't want, and some member of parliament what they never really want.
And already we know that the prime minister, the man who is offering himself to go back as prime minister, is certainly right now on the investigation, and there are 12 other people. We don't know who they are. They are also fingered for illicit enrichment investigation based on what we're getting out of the Integrity Commission office.
So what we need to talk about, as I said, I'm not leaving and rubbing it in. Why is it that it is great and fine? It's so important to go invest in an integrity lamp. The problem is, and I'm leaving you now, America is watching, and everybody will see how Trump are running things. And I want Trump up in the eye to look, just peep 3 corners in the eye down here. Because a lot of things that we are supposed to do, we can't do it if America no pressure it. Because if you have instability here, the people them going to end up there. They don't want nobody in our country. So, one can do things, can quint here, or back in here, or turn in head, and say, oh, get rid of the fake ID then, because I don't want no instability down there. Come in and take you up here. Have a good day, sir.
All right, thanks a lot, comrade. Well, these are things that we want. We want a fair election. We want same man, same vote, and we hope that we will have that. That argument that the General Secretary of the People's National Party raised, it's a very, very cogent argument, and persons must be on their P's and their Q's, so that people are, and it's going to be called for a level of vigilance within the polling station from the indoor and outdoor agents. Hello, welcome caller.
Conrad.
Yes, Marie, how you doing? Morning.
I'm good. Conrad, I want to say something a little bit about what Daryl Vaz did yesterday with that thing. Have you ever heard the term cultural appropriation? It's something that social anthropologists, they do, where it's a term where people would take aspects of somebody else's culture and
rituals.
Use it. Yeah, ritually, right? We know that, right? We as people of African heritage, right? Like certain aspects of religion that our ancestors came with from Africa. Them couldn't practice and all of that. And so that's why Obi and all of them things that it banned, right? So what I'm trying to say is that is Daryl Vaz of African ancestry in him?
I don't know. Not that I know.
All right. Well, may I ask? Because for what him I do yesterday, and seeing that you know, some of those things is used in revivalism, you know, with all the rum, the this, the whatever, when we have 9 night and all of them things. That's what I'm saying that I do yesterday. I don't know where that people for. You understand me? You know, the time did make two people come pray or, you know, or do
Marie,
something.
my sad tale about that. The church was there, somebody who is a member of the umbrella church was there presiding, and they did not rebuke Daryl Vaz with that nonsense.
Yes.
They should have been rebuked.
Yeah, Megan Kelly, you see, her name just come back to me. I remember she had a show on NBC. She ended up with a whole from
yeah, man.
NBC,
I know Megan. Somebody I admired. Yes.
Yeah, but Diana Ross, and she lost her job. You see the things that we make pass in Jamaica, you know. You see African Americans in the States, because of the history that they have been with slavery and come back with Jim Crow and all of them things like Conrad. Them not make no little nothing slip past and something, you know, without them not jumping it, you know, and say it is disrespectful towards them as a people and a culture, you know. You understand me? You know? I mean, I know what Daryl Vaz that I tried to prove yesterday when him did about chew rum and I pat him head with rum and all of
Daryl Vaz must go answer to the people of Jamaica about $1.4 billion. That's what he need to do, because we know that the money not spent on the bus them. We knew it not spent on the bus. We're not damn idiots. We're not fools. We knew it not spent.
May I tell him, you know, when we know that in no way, shape, or form them must the cost them want
no way, shape, or form. Right?
Political expediency for election purposes and for whatever else happened to the rest of the funds. We know that.
Right? Listen, man, it's
you know what? People, Conrad, I'm gonna say this, right? You have some hypocritical people in we call themselves, many of them are still PNP or farmer comrades.
No, we're not going to get into that, Murray. We're not getting into that. Please. Murray, please, leave that alone. We're not getting into that argument. Please.
All right.
No, leave the argument there alone. Stick to this.
But Conrad, I'm going to say this, Conrad, Auntie. You see, your vote is a right. It's not a privilege. It's a vote. And whether I don't want to vote for PNP or JLP or any P, I would say to them, go out and vote. Because when you don't vote, you allow somebody else to make the decision for you. So you don't have no right for complaint when you not get when the governance now go your way. So go vote. That's if anything, you know that you had a say in putting that administration into Garden House. So instead of every day with what is going on, go out and vote. You know, in Australia, you have to vote. You have to vote, as you are fine. So go out and vote for whoever you choose, any P or no P, and go out and put that X. Because we have come a long way, especially as a people of African descent that could not vote. And Norman Manley, that was his lifelong dream. We got even a universal adult suffrage before even Black Americans got it. They never even for vote in the 60s. And them get wet up with dog. They get dog set pan who was them down. And they stood in line just to get that vote.
Absolutely, Marie. We take this thing too lightly. It's something that we must guard zealously. I remind people of my own situation. I remember the first time that I was able to vote. I was one of the proudest young man ever. And to date, it remained the same. And any guy or girl believe that they could walk and step to me and say they're going to offer me any amount of money for my vote, I would rebuke them and send them to the pit of hell, because it's an affront and it's a disrespect. People must understand.
Exactly, Conrad. One place where all Jamaicans are equal, regardless of your status, is in that voting booth, where all of us are entitled for one vote. Black South Africans had to fight and go through hell with apartheid just to be able to vote and have a say in their governance. I want to take it lightly and every day and so me not care and whatever. vote for whoever you want to vote for. But stop acting like you don't have no sense. Because once upon a time.
Thanks, Marie. Let me try and pack in as much as I can in this segment. If anything, you can call us back later. All right. Thanks a lot. The phone buzzing. All right. Let's continue to take the calls. Hello. Are we there? All right. We know the lines are engaged. Hello, caller. Yes. Morning. Welcome, sir.
Okay. Quickly, I want to say something. I agree with Dayton for this integrity lab. Let me tell you something. There's too much corruption in government and governance, right? The EOJ, let me tell you something. And when I look at the news, the has been hacked. The RGD has been cyber attack, right? This is an organization that have data birth of persons, all the avenues of persons' history into it, right? So
yes, in the news, it's in the news that there was an attack on it, on the office.
Exactly. And yet they are saying that they know the entity who does this, yet it's not public. These are something that, can we trust the EOJ? Let me tell you something. When there's distrust in the governance, especially the EOJ is...
Hello? Caller? Oh, he's on a WhatsApp situation. All right, so the caller is making a point there. All right, caller, we lose out in you there. So
hello?
Yes, he is back. Go ahead, caller.
Look here, the EOJ is in the Prime Minister's office, and when you hear so many things is happening, you have to take a step back and you hear the rhetoric on the state. We are not selling the Jamaica to the PNP and all of these things. You need to safeguard. Don't look at a person can come and say, okay, they don't have the ID, but my name so and so in our black book. I can give somebody my name with no ID and tell them issue and say, my name John Tom, about 19 now. Everything and when we live and what my name and all of these things, and it's not me.
No, it's a little more detail than that. There are some.
You might have a secret something.
And what happened? Your fingerprint. Hold on, caller. Hold on. While they are concerned, but we want to ensure that we are giving the accurate information. When you actually go to, because I have voted without ID, and you have a record radio in the background, caller?
No.
I don't know. All right. Yes. So I'm saying that it's a little bit more nuanced than that. When you vote without your ID, there are certain questions that you're asked, and also you're also fingerprinted and so on. So it's a little bit more than just you go out there and just give some false information. It's more foolproof than that. But the major point, the bigger point, is that people are asking these questions about the system, because we have, as a matter of fact, there has been fake IDs that have been identified. So the integrity lamp that Dayton Campbell talk about, it is worthy. It is a worthy thing, because again, we want to ensure that we have one man, one vote. You know?
Remember in Portland, Daryl Vaz said up to 9 o'clock people still have vote.
Yes. Yes. Oh, all right, caller. Thanks.
Okay,
Thank you. All right. Caller seems to be a little bit engaged otherwise there as well. You know, we understand what happens sometimes. On try to get a quick bite in. We have another call there, Madam Producer. Hi, welcome, caller.
Morning, Conrad.
Hi, morning, Africa.
Where are you going with that?
I am doing the work, so as you can hear.
The race is not for the swift, you know.
Yes. But for those who can endure.
Because we have to endure a lot of things around here in our brethren.
Yes.
The place will get poorer and poorer in our brethren.
Yes.
The
in spite of what some people want to have us believe, right?
No, well, seeing is knowing, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Some people want to tell you your reality. Right?
Them for
57% of Jamaica cannot afford a proper meal, and people want to tell people, say everybody belly full with the best food. No go so.
I mean, I hear that deal with it. I mean, I hear that them some that deal with it, Conrad. We want to know how the country got developed, you know. the food security, now.
Well, sir,
We have some industry where anyhow we put them on target,
sir, listen. And I am saying this, I know that I'll be accused, but the PNP manifesto state that they will be introducing an agriculture fund. I think it's about $2.5 billion to ensure that our farmers are treated better and to ensure that we have food security. A part of their manifesto also said that they are aiming to reduce food importation into Jamaica by 25% over a particular period of time. Those are important things, and we must come to the party. We must talk about things that are out there by way of proposal, and just stop saying that nothing to propose. I am hearing people talking about for example, even the tax plan there that the PNP put forward. The PNP clearly stated at the debate how they would finance their plan. The government has not done so. So this argument, as when you talk to some people, them say the two of them are the same thing. No, go, sir. It's not true.
Conrad, we want better in Jamaica. We need better, Conrad.
Good. You look at even the housing scenario here in Jamaica. It is clear. It's a no-brainer. Housing have always been the PNP's baby. And that is why it was in the wisdom of Michael Manley and so on in the 70s to put in the National Housing Trust in Jamaica.
If we have no law to spend the money, but then put the to spend on the infrastructure in Jamaica.
Right.
If we have no law to make sure the money spent there, Conrad.
Yes.
What we depend?
All right. I'll delve into that some more, Africa. I'll give some info on that when I come back. But I have to leave you here. We're up on the 10 o'clock break. Thanks.
It's good to be here, Conrad.
Every time. Take care.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say, we are going to treat public sector workers with respect and dignity. I won't talk to the JTA president like the Minister of Education and say him performing at his conference. That is disrespect. Disrespect is when you need to get a meeting, you have to get restive and threaten strike action. The fiscal policy paper has, in its first year, 9%. In the second year, 6%. In the third year, 6%. They have offered 0. That is not an offer. We will do better. But by lifting the income tax threshold to 3.5 million, we are easing the pressure. We ease in the pressure on our nurses. We ease in the pressure on our policemen. We ease in the pressure so that more money will be in their pockets. They have a history of dealing with civil servants with disrespect. You right now have 2 sets of civil servants in the same office doing the same thing and earning different salaries. A whole set of anomalies that arose from the public sector compensation review. They haven't addressed it. There's supposed to be a meeting tomorrow with the JCTU and you cancel it. They are the ones who treat them with disrespect. We have a history of working with our public sector in the interest of this country, and we will continue to do so. So when we come into office, it will be better than 0% because there is money in the budget to provide better for public servants.
Considered view that the 3.5 million threshold increase that was recently announced is nothing but a Sam-Fi political scam. In the beginning it was 2.1, then it became 3, then it disappeared, and then it appeared 1 week before an election. You have to tell the people of Jamaica, I ask you to tell the people of Jamaica, is this just an election scam, or is it that you are going to be cutting much needed services such as NHF, where we spend $19 billion for drugs in hospitals, or university spending, which is $17 billion? Tell us how you plan to really cut discretionary areas, as you have called them.
I answered the question already, but I'm going to answer it again for the Jamaican people. I have said we are going to raise the threshold to $3.5 million. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that because your budget says that $140 billion of additional government revenues will be earned over 3 years. But that is at your 1% growth, which you have no ambition on. We're going to grow the economy by more than that so that we can pay for these things. There's also a benefit when you put more money in the hands of people because they're going to spend it, which will allow the government to collect more on GCT and other indirect taxes. We are the party committed to ensuring that all Jamaicans thrive and not just a few. Our plan is better. It is more equitable. Their plan will benefit the richer people more. Ours will benefit the working people, our nurses, our policemen, the security guards, the civil servants, to put more money to ease the pressure of the cost of living that they have to face. That is our commitment as a party of social justice and equality. So when you talk about Samfire, what Samfire you're talking about? Madness you're talking about? We will deliver on behalf of the Jamaican people. We have a history of protecting our most vulnerable and ensuring that they have more money to spend so that they can protect their families and those around them. Are under investigation for illicit enrichment. I, Julian J. Robinson, can categorically state, I am not under investigation. Can the three of you say that? We need growth. Are under investigation for illicit enrichment. I, Julian J. Robinson, can categorically state, I am not under investigation. Can the three of you say that? We need growth. Are under investigation for illicit enrichment. I, Julian J. Robinson, can categorically state, I am not under investigation. Can the three of you say that? We need growth.
Whether you're Labour, right, PNP, regular Jamaican who just want to vote for a change, you see the next election here will come up under no circumstances whatsoever can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government. Whether you're Labour, right, PNP, regular Jamaican who just want to vote for a change, you see the next election here will come up under no circumstances whatsoever can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government.
Eternal and sovereign God, we come before you today. The God of righteousness, the God of justice, the God of peace, we come today, oh God, in no other name but the name of Jesus Christ. We come, Lord, putting our Jamaica land we love in your hands. Almighty God, it is your word that says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then and only then you will hear from heaven and heal our land. And Almighty God, without a vision, the people perish. And so today, Lord, we come because Jamaica is weighed down under the weight of corruption. We're polluted, oh God, by cronyism and nepotism. But today, Lord, we come in your name and we say, Lord, rise up leaders like Moses who led the people out of bondage. Rise up leaders like Nehemiah who had a clean hand, clean hands and clean heart. We pray, God, that you will rescue Jamaica and sound the trumpet in Zion, sound the alarm that you, oh God, cares for the people of this country. And so, Lord, we come against every badmanism. We come against every plans of the enemy. And like David said in the wilderness, you come with spear and javelin, but the People's National Party come in the name of the Lord God of hosts, the army of Israel. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hallelujah. The Andrew Holness-led administration have failed our children. They have failed our people. They have failed our country. They have failed to give young people the opportunities. They have neglected our healthcare system, leaving our people suffering and desperate. Comrades, this JLP administration promise prosperity, but what they give is pain. They promise security, but what they have delivered is fear. They promise jobs, but what they have delivered is hopelessness. But comrades, the PNP and the monks, just as a golden, is not just ready to win. We are ready to lead with integrity. We are ready to restore Jamaica's promise. We are ready because Jamaica, your time comes.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
The fire that is blazing and News Talk 93 FM over on the Make We Talk YouTube channel that's carrying us. Wow, we're having a lot of listeners over there. Want to say hi, good morning to every single one of you who come over and gracing the fireman, of course. Where are we? Let me see now. Daphne McDonald is saying good morning to Conrad OBrian. She's also saying good morning to Jeffrey as well as we continue to take the calls. Let me remind you of the numbers. We were supposed to have our guest at this time, Antoinette Hamilton, the president of the Micro Enterprise, but we're not getting through to her. My producer have been trying her number. So Miss Hamilton, if you're listening, you can call her in. However, we're going to open the phone lines at this time. So let's remind you of the numbers: 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824, 876-462-0919. Let me say good morning to Vanette O'Brien, my sister, who jet in from Georgia recently, and indeed down there in Confident Avenue, Mandeville, Manchester. Want to say hi to Ken Roy as well, who is listening to Clovis, Rod, John, all of you guys over there in Confidence Avenue, up there in Hatfield, Manchester, Georges Valley, Mandeville proper, up there in Northeast Manchester, Christian, all over the place. I gather that you're tuning in droves down there in Southwest St. Anne. I understand that I have big following down there, and also over the other neighboring, I think that's the southeast St. Anne as well, and also northeast St. Anne, where Dr. Ryan Simpson is. As we say, good morning to Miss Hamilton over there. That's Nicola Hamilton. All of you guys, thanks for sticking and staying with us right here in News Talk 93 FM with the fireman. It's indeed a Thursday. It's the 28th day of August 2025. It's the night, the morning before the big one tonight, the debate between Mark Jefferson Golden, the president of the People's National Party, and Michael Roddenberger, the oldest, the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party. They will be strutting their stuff this evening at about 9 o'clock on our television screen. What are you expecting from both leaders? Hello, welcome, caller. Caller?
Conrad.
Yes, sir.
Why, Conrad, I get to understand, so the firefighters and the firefighting equipment is flying up Hope Road coming to the station. Is that so?
Well,
I've been trying to call and the lines are busy, so
yeah,
they are sending in the emergency responders.
All right, well, that's par for the course, sir. You know, we give thanks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But you know what I call on?
Yes.
And I saw where the transport minister, and I guess they were having a blessing ceremony for the buses yesterday.
Yes.
Reeling out of the office of the Prime Minister to make a house.
What do you make of that rum sprinkling at a blessing ceremony? What do you make of it? Well, that's not something that we are accustomed to when we have our pastors and our church leaders present, sir.
Well, Conrad, I'm not going to tell you it's not something you're accustomed to, because anything a man do today in the dark, in the public, it is something that he or she participates in.
Or what they do in the light, it's something that is being done in the dark.
In the dark. So it can be, I believe that is demonizing. I believe that as what happened.
No, it's a demonic ritual, man.
Correct. And when we are talking about that, we have a priest there, I don't know what denomination the young lady whosoever it belongs to, but when you have somebody there using a spirit, an alcohol-based liquid, claiming that...
You're supposed to be invoking the spirit of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, what spirit are you running away with alcohol, with liquor? So I believe that is wrong, and I believe that the Prime Minister needs to be asked about that, because if we are living in modern days and we're looking towards the future, why are we going back into the days of voodooism, obeah, witchcraft, whatever it may be? But that was totally wrong. The next thing with the buses, I am happy.
This is Garfield, right? You're calling out to Florida.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Correct. I am happy and pleased to see the doors of the buses were retrofitted to the sidewalk where passengers can disembark and embark on the bus.
Yes.
But the question I would love to ask the minister, why is it that the sign signal that says stop, that's supposed to open up when the buses are stopped, why is it never put back on the opposite side of the bus? Because as far as I'm concerned, those sign signals is not for pedestrians, it is for motorists. And when a bus is stopped on the side of the road, the motorists don't look for that. The motorists look outside to overtake the bus. The motorists don't drive on sidewalk. And so, I mean, we went through all of this to retrofit the bus. How hard was it to put the sign on the next side of the buses? And that is important. And that's a safety issue. Because, frankly speaking, we know we may not be accustomed to have these buses in Jamaica and these signs on these buses, but since the buses already came with those signs, why are we now watering down the buses for the safety measures? And those questions need to be asked in the state.
You see, Garfield, whenever something is basically act in corruption, all these things follow. The fact of the matter is that we're still awaiting proper information from Minister Daryl Vaz about this $1.4 billion, Garfield, that he said he spent. You live in Florida, Garfield. You know the situation about these buses, and you know that the $1.4 billion not spent for them. You know that. So all that we're seeing here are rituals that are taking place to try to pull wools over the Jamaican people. And the more they do things, is the more things reveal. For example, what you're even pointing out here now.
Yeah, the signs. I mean, why have the signs to the sidewalk? The signs need to be out for the motoring public to see the signs, knowing that the buses stop, students are crossing the roads, and the whole 9 yards. Students are coming off the buses. That is for safety measures. So why water down the safety measures? Because that is what we are all about. That is what the government is promoting. That is for the safety of the students. So why not put the sign on the proper side where it ought to be? And I must tell you, the doors are now retrofitted, which is a good move. It's a brilliant spot where the buses, where the doors are, because it was a big argument that the student going to catch the bus in the road.
Mm-hmm.
Now we fix that. When are we going to put the sign at the proper side of the bus? And I make a posting on Facebook, and people say the signs are already there. I'm not speaking about indicators. We're not talking about indicators. We're talking about the sign that is affixed to the side of the buses, and that is what we need to do. And put it out there. Funny enough, yesterday they came to the Jamaica House launching of those buses, but they realized they didn't show us the cameras.
And you asked the question before. You asked the question right here before, Garfield, about the camera issue, because you said to us that, listen, these buses were already outfitted with cameras. That's a part of it. So you were asking, is it that when we got the buses, they basically ripped out those cameras and new cameras put in? Because the minister talked about a part of the retrofitting to include cameras and so on. All of those details we need to know, because if you're going to say that you spent X amount of money to retrofit and to include cameras, then we must understand those cameras, were they outdated, not fit for purpose, and did you bring in new cameras into the country? These are very, very germane and pertinent questions that we need to have asked. And, I heard Jeffrey yesterday on the top of his lungs saying to the minister, the fact that he said he's prepared to speak to anybody, right, on this matter. Why has he not appeared on the Conrad OBrian program and News Talk 93 FM? Right, straight up. Why is he not? Grace, Rattigan, who have been asking, and other people who have been asking, so we can put these tough questions. Because we're not about playing any bat up and catch with the minister. No, catch should be. But my question, should be. Hey, I haven't heard that in a long time. But my question is this: they displayed the buses yesterday. Why the news media did not go in the bus, and why there wasn't a demonstration of the cameras in the bus and how effectively they are working? Today is the 27th to the 28th of August. School is opening next week. Why we are not seeing the cameras in the bus? Why we have not seen someone walk on the bus, registered to the bus? They have a device in their hand. Why we have not seen a live shot of someone taking the bus, scanning their card, and it registering to a phone and all of that? Why that has not been done yesterday? The buses were on display. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, the buses are ready. They are roadworthy. He showed the tires. Good tires were affixed to the bus. But why the camera system? Why the collection systems are not in the buses? Why that wasn't displayed yesterday? Why is that? How do we know? The next thing again, do we, if you notice, how do we know that those doors are automatic or manual? We don't know that.
Yes.
Because if you notice, when they were going in one of the buses, they had a problem with one of the doors,
Yes.
If you look at the video that the government published.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Remember that? And the minister had a comment to say, wait a minute. And
yes.
I think the
he was hard pressed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us move to another bus. No.
Listen, Garfield, listen to me. It really opened more and more questions every day. Why would the government of Jamaica have $1.4 billion to spend on buses for our children? As Peter Bunting said, our most important cargo, our children, and you spend it in this cavalier way. If there wasn't something on the hand for people to get some amount of pop-off, as we call it in Jamaica, or kickback, that is important. And the more this unfolds, the more the speculation is rife. We must ask this question, Garfield, and it behooves some of us in the fourth estate to ask these tough questions, and again, let us underpin and buttress our argument that this is not about whether or not we need a transport system, a bus system for our youngsters, our school children, our students.
That is needed.
Right? That is there. And even with a bus system in place, one must also understand that there needs to be other companion attendant issue to involve our taxi men and women as well, because the buses will only be on the major thoroughfare. A number of our children are coming from rural district, deep rural district, that the buses is not going to go into. So if we're talking, sorry Garfield, if we're talking about moving our children, then it's basically a comprehensive thing that we have to deal with.
I will tell you this, Conrad, in the minister's constituency of Western Portland, if those buses cannot traverse past the Skibo Bridge, if you go Spring Garden and you make a left and you get into Skibo, those buses cannot go into a place called Bible Portland. Those buses cannot go into a place called Anzeli, Barry Spring and all of that. Down by it can only go into the major.
But the poor Minister Vaz probably don't even know the geography of his own constituency.
Well, in Fellowship and in Bangor Ridge, those buses cannot go to those places. So you would have to depend on heavy duty vehicles to come out of a place like Barry Spring, trucks to come down into Buff Bay, and small taxis. And that is why when you go into rural Jamaica, you find all of these similar cars. It's a reason why taxis use a particular brand vehicle, because it is much easier to supply the parts and to be repaired.
Absolutely.
It's much easier. And these are the guys, and these are the people in the auto parts industry makes a bag of money from cab drivers, taxi drivers, because they know the rugged terrain that they are running on. So it is good to stock up on certain parts that they have. And frankly speaking, as you say, you will definitely still need the smaller units. And if you had the coaster buses, these are smaller units that can get into the creases and the crannies of these tight spaces, and people can live and people can continue. But the fact of the matter, transparency must be the order of the day. The buses, again, can only run on major thoroughfares. These buses are only fit for in the metropolitan area. It is a metropolitan bus system. That is what these buses are. Not for the crooks and corners and the tight corners. And well, the fact of the matter, give the minister some credit. He alluded to that yesterday because he realized when he did the test run, he realized that some of the buses are not fit for the terrain, for the area, for the road, geographically speaking, because it's just the truth of the matter. And that is why, and I don't want to comment, and that is why you never see a 40-foot container tractor trailer driving in Jamaica around the countryside. It's simple.
Absolutely. Garfield, I said this before and I'll say it again. And frankly speaking, I really, it doesn't really matter to me if being accused of politics here. I'm saying this to the people of Jamaica, and in particular the people out there in Western Portland. Next week, Wednesday, they must send Daryl Vaz packing outside of this, because he has basically committed many things that I personally don't believe that as a result of those things he should be MP, based on how he talked to the people with disdain and all sort of thing. One remember when he had the land portfolio and he had to be removed and all of those sort of things, right? So, but this one with the buses, the spend of $1.4 billion, right, and refuse to speak to Jamaica when Jamaicans ask for further and better particular, he pivot and say a Mark Golden birth certificate we must ask for. I believe that the people must go out there and do the right thing, and the first seat that should be declared for the PNP next week should be Western Portland with Doreen Campbell Forbes. I leave you, sir.
Definitely.
Good.
Conrad,
Bless
I
you.
just wanted to make a clarification. I said 40-foot container. Trailer drives around Jamaica with 50-foot container. And when you look at these heavy equipment movers, they use a lead vehicle and a tow vehicle to clear the way because the terrain in Jamaica is not, some of the terrain is not wide enough to accommodate certain oversized vehicle. And some of these buses are oversized vehicles. So it's a simple reason why every equipment operator use a tow vehicle and a lead vehicle to ensure the safety of the motoring public. So I guess we have to put some people to drive behind the buses and in front of the buses to ensure the buses have good clearance.
Thank you, Garfield, and I'm happy that you're a measured voice outside of Jamaica, not in the cut and thrust of the politics on the ground. You are giving an independent view. Thanks a lot for calling in, my friend. God bless you. All right, good. So the lines are open. Give us a call. The numbers are 876-212-9824. We are interested in talking to you, Bruce. So we are interested in talking to you. Give us a call and let's hear what's on your mind. Let's hear what's on your mind. We have a lot of expression coming through on the YouTube channel here. I want to read a few of them, but I lost that. So let's see if we can pick up from there. I don't know what is happening. My lot of expression on the Conrad FB Facebook page as well, but I'm having a little bit of issue here with my internet. So let's see if that will come back up momentarily as well. Let's share with you some of the issues here in the. Oh, we're up on the break. Let's go to the 10:30 break. So come, stay with us.
A common misconception is that on election day, you vote for the Prime Minister. However, that is not the case. You vote for your Member of Parliament. Welcome to Notify. Let's break down what really happens at the polling stations. First things first, you must be 18 or older, a Jamaican citizen or Commonwealth resident, and you must be registered with the Electoral Office of Jamaica. On election day, go to your polling station between the times announced. Present your voter's ID, and this will be checked against the voters list. Once verified by the presiding officer, you'll be able to cast your vote. Some polling stations might be using EVIS, the Electronic Voter Identification System, where you will be asked to place a specific finger on a fingerprint scanner to verify your identity. Inside the polling station, you will be provided with a pencil, which you will use to mark an X beside the candidate of your choice. This person will represent your constituency and become your Member of Parliament. After that, you'll dip your right index finger in ink to show that you've cast your vote. Ensure that you watch as the presiding officer places your unopened ballot into the ballot box. Remember, you're voting for your Member of Parliament and not directly for the party leader, unless they are your Member of Parliament. The party leader that wins the most seats across all 63 constituencies becomes the Prime Minister. Once you've made your vote, it's time for the Electoral Office of Jamaica to count the ballots. Stay tuned to find out what happens after the ballots are in. My name is Krista Fuller, and this has been Notify.
Are under investigation for illicit enrichment. I, Julian J. Robinson, can categorically state, I am not under investigation. Can the three of you say that?
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back again. And this time, we're not going to drive the bus. We're just going to talk a little bit about the bus because we've heard so many stories about how we bad mind because we've brought this to the attention of the Jamaican people. The Cabinet is responsible also. It's not just Mr. Vaz or Minister Vaz. The Cabinet is also responsible for the purchase of these buses to take our children from the rural section of Jamaica to school. Now we have come up with plans that don't include these buses. They don't. But we won't talk about that today. What we want to talk about is value for money. When Mr. Vaz says that the Jamaican public is getting value for money, the buses are in great condition, we know that not to be the case. It's not true. But what I want to talk to you about today is not the refurbishing, not the retrofitting, just the value of these buses. Now, as I mentioned to you last week, this bus cost, well, let me tell you what it didn't cost. It didn't cost 20,000 US dollars. It didn't cost 5,000 US dollars. It didn't cost 3,000 US dollars. It didn't cost 2,000 US dollars. You can actually purchase these buses at auction for less than $2,000. 2010 buses. And we're talking about Bluebird Thomas International. This bus, ladies and gentlemen, cost exactly this. $1 US dollar. That's
accountability. The public hospital needs scanning machine, x-ray machines, generator and neonatal incubators, a lot more like ambulance, more renal dialysis units and so on. Those are obviously, you're absolutely correct. Marcia Thomas is saying good morning to C. O'Brien. Blessing to everyone. Thanks for that. Angela is saying vote PNP, one Marky G. Gloria Jones is saying good morning. Myrtle Thompson is saying NLP set set if done. Or Jennifer Simpson saying good morning everyone. Hi Conrad. Hi Jennifer, how you doing? And Doreen, what is this? Basti people, the host said you have to respect each other. Absolutely. Thanks for that reminder there. Doreen, respect each other. Vernal Henry saying, Conrad, power blessing, power Thursday blessing. Later will be the chopper, candlelight, and on the 3rd September will be his funeral. UK up. All right. Respect for all my listeners over there in the United Kingdom who is glued in to Straight Up right here and New Start 93 FM as we stream live also on the Make We Talk channel. Thanks for joining us. Hello, welcome caller. Caller. Hi, how you doing, Marshy?
Me there, man.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
Concerning integrity lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dayton can have a strong case. Now they hack the system, don't it? Yesterday they hacked the system.
Yes, there is a situation out there in at the RGD. The name has changed now, but the RGD office, that's the one you're talking about?
Yes, the system being hacked.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and they're saying that even to date, there are certain services that cannot be offered because of what took place there yesterday. But they said they had a backup system that was able to, sort of shut down
some of them. Something. RGD have anything to do with Peacock? They work in tandem?
I'm not.
They cut down the same ministry.
Yeah, they are. No, they are not. They are not. Yes, RGD is Ministry of Health, and PICA, I think, is National Security. Yes.
Yeah. But the long and short of it, may I go ask you one question?
Go ahead.
I mean, I accuse nobody. May I ask you one question? How Daryl Vaz did get into the system to find out Mark Golden business?
That's $1 million question, sir, and it's a question that has not been answered to date. He said that he had connection, and obviously he said that he used that connection to get the information, but that in itself is a very, very sad scenario, Saka. If you can use your connection as minister to get pertinent information, that means the system is not foolproof.
You can use your connection to get connection, and you can use your connection to do disconnection.
Indeed.
Good. Now, with the system now, we don't know who have no connection. We don't know if the system, after you get information and know people business, that you can set up people and identification thing.
Well, I think, Marsh, with these questions being asked, and we don't certainly I'm not elevating it above the question being asked. I think it behoves the ECJ and the EOJ to speak to the public and to give us some level of assurance and to say X, Y, and Z, and to explain to Jamaica how the integrity lamp that they have, how will they be deployed and how will they be used in the system to ensure that it is one man, one vote. And so how widely will those be used? Will it be a situation where if there is a suspicious scenario, they will rule that out, or will it be a matter of course? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, man. Yes, man. And why that father-in-law, why he against the integrity lamp?
Well, again, he said he's against it.
Yeah, he speak against it.
Well, I don't know. You know my situation, Marsh. I have to be fair. All right? I don't know if he speak against it or he explain the scenario. And we're talking about, for those of you who don't know who is referred to as Dog Paw father-in-law, he's talking about you're talking about Mr. Tavares, for instance, and from all accounts we gather that his daughter has a child for the gentleman who is now deceased. So that's it. That's it. You don't choose partners for your children. Children go out and do whatever they want to do. So if that is so, it's not a problem. Hold on, Marsha. So if that is so, that is the issue. However, I have to be fair. I don't know if he's talking against the integrity lamp, but I thought what he was doing was explaining the structure as it relates to what is obtained or what can be used now. Dayton has the similar responsibility as a commissioner of the EAC. So I don't know if Dayton had not crossed his T and dot his I's to know whether or not it was permissible. But
well,
let's
with
see.
the system now, we got to be very careful. No.
Reach out to the General Secretary and ask him to give me a call, Marsha. I would love to talk to him. Reach out to him, tell him to give me a call. All right, we'd love to talk to him to get some information on that.
In Jamaica now, you're a government minister. You tell me, you know them people that bring Jamaica to a new low. You hustle some bus. You know, because me have to start hustle them bus there, right? And you come now before you pray to God. You that flash white rum when Tavares fin to the glad tea white rum to drink it. And you and the white rum a sprinkle on bus. What that is for? What? And then you have church, so you bring church there to pray.
You know, that is the sad part of the situation, you know. And I think that the church leaders should rebuke that pastor who went out and was there and preside over that sermon and did not take Daryl Vaz and say, no, we are not interested in participating in this kind of ritual. It is out of order, sir. It has no place.
Well, you have to understand, you know, Mr. O'Brien, you have some of these people, these preachers, they preach from the Holy Bible, right? And you have some of them preach from the Single Bible. And you see those who preach from the Single Bible, be careful of them. Be very, very careful of them. You bring church from, we have to invoke God in it for. Meanwhile, you are your solution already because you are your white room.
And maybe that is the reason, sir, why some of them come down so hard on Peter Bunting when Peter had called for the divine intervention.
Well, I look at, hey, man, then kill you, because I never nothing about that, you know. Because you should not use divine intervention when you can go use white rum. You know you got it right. You're one of the number one talk show host in Jamaica. Because I never even look at it from the angle, you know. Man, you should have a bun two candle because you know them over the side and love them candle and them thing there. And lick to sprinkle some white rum and then something because that Mr. them do over there, sir. Eh? Why, thank God, what the hell is this? What the aim is this? Where Jamaica reach now? No, sir. Right.
This is a new low, man. It's a new low.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. Yes, man. But man, listen to bend down low. Let me tell you where you know, man. God, we're going too low now, man. Not even Limbo wouldn't go so low. A big cabinet minister and used a demonic ritual, a sprinkle white rum. Hey, I wonder if people want to put them picnic on them bush there.
Well, let's see. All right, Marsha, we hope for the best. We hope for the best with those buses that will be on the street September morning. Thanks a lot.
Bless you.
Bless you. All right, we hope for the best. I mean, we are critiquing the whole scenario, but at the heart of it, we want the best for our children. We want them to travel safely and so on. And we are invoking, well, certainly from where I sit, I'm invoking the presence of Almighty God to cover our children who will be going back to school and to cover our people generally who, you know, traverse the roads and just in your homes. Just yesterday, Madam Producer, remember that story that we actually carried here about the two young children? You know, unfortunate situation happened. They were found dead, you know, and their stepfather, a young man, 21 years old, we gather that, you know, he may have ingested some substance and, you know, something may have gone awry. And he actually, as they say in social media world, unalive those children, you know, or murdered the children. We gather that the police had actually took into custody the young man and his common law wife, who is the two children mother. Of course, he fathered the younger of the two children, and he is indeed the stepfather for the older one, right? 3 and 1 year old, respectfully, yes. 1 and 2 year old, and indeed they are now lying cold in the morgue. All right, the lines are open as we say good morning to Winston Peart, who is joining us, and he's saying that okay. Also, we had Rochester here, Vernal Rochester. Vernal Rochester is also here with us. We're also seeing Wilford Gray, mentioning a few people on FB. Kirk Douglas is also here with us. Wayne Price is there, of course. Garfield Reed, Horace Williams. Hi, Horace Williams. Horace, let me know, are you in Jamaica as yet? Because I'm sure you will be coming down to be a part of the Northwest Manchester PNP aggregation, you being a former councillor there and former mayor of Mandeville. Horace now reside in the United States. Wayne Williams. Hi, Wayne. How you doing? Good to see you, man. Welcome, caller.
Good morning, Conrad.
Hey, hi, Mr. Gray. How you doing, man? Talk to me.
I'm giving thanks and praising that the sunshine,
Oh, yes.
Sunshine.
Yes, up here in Florida.
Yeah, and I prepared myself for what some double heavyweight match later between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the opposition leader, future Prime Minister Mark Golding.
Mr. Gray, what are your expectations later? Any particular question that you would like to pose to the PM and of course the opposition leader? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I submit some for nationwide, What
you are here on hold on, sir. You're on News Start now. Tell me what I go on News Start.
I know. The question that we would ask Andrew most, Andrew Holness, is having so much state of emergency and given JLP previous stance on state of emergency, do you now have new commitment to govern with the freedom rights of the masses intact? Or would you continue governing the folks without freedom rights at your whim and fancy?
All right. Sounds like a good question there. What would you want? What would be a question for Mark Gordon, the man who it is argued that could be the 10th Prime Minister of Jamaica after the dust is settled next week, Wednesday?
Yeah, my question to Mark Golding is, you won 116 to 112 of 228 seats. You won by 26,000 votes, by over 6%. Why have not you stand up boldly and claim your winnings? You understand?
I think that I don't know that that's a question.
It's a good question.
No, I don't think it is. No, I don't think it's a question.
Because Andrew lose and say he win.
Yeah, but that question is
not dominant player where my the lower finger. No, but that's a good question.
All right, fine. Okay, all right.
You're supposed to stand the authority.
I hear you.
Because PNP had only 90 seats, JP have 138, and
but the people were able to do basic. But the people were able to do basic arithmetic. Understand that the PNP won the local government election. So I don't know that.
Right. But yeah, if I don't see about right, don't do
that. Don't do that.
All right, never use that word.
Don't do that. Please.
No, but it's the nature of politics, no, Conrad.
Yeah, man, but you know, I'm not really
it's a part of the English language. It's a part of the English language. But let me tell you, Conrad, there are people out there who are illiterate and think.
Yes.
They know for I man to know the Prime Minister.
Well, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing from shutting you don't use the word done still, but
yeah, man, Colt Bedward is the member of Jim Jones. The cult leader sister, even though one of my public health professor taught me, you can't take it for granted that people know. You understand?
Yes, that is true.
You have to tell them.
That is true. Even something as basic, that we take for granted, You know, the whole business of going into the polling station and making an X. And, you know, we were having a discussion. Of course, I was talking to the erudite attorney at law, KD Knight, and he was saying to me how important it is, even at this stage, to continue to educate people as to how to make an X, because X is a letter of the alphabet. You know?
Yeah. And we have to put it against the head, you know. But, you know, talking about the old sheriff, the KD, and Tufton, which is him, because, you know, in 2019, it was Peter Bunting versus Peter Phillips, not even Mark Golding. You get what I'm saying? But remember him in 2002 when they just came back from NDM? When he make a mistake addressing jail, they put the X beside the head. You understand?
Yeah, well.
He did that.
Well, you know, those...
And when they talk about things, and never forget, you scored in 9th NDM and Conrad.
Yeah, those mistakes happen.
And Siaga.
Yeah, those mistakes happen on both sides. You know, we have seen people on the PNP side say put the X beside the belt. So that's a mistake. Those mistakes happen.
It's human. It's human. It was their intention. You understand?
No, not at all.
And sometimes it's taking what the person said out of context. But we understand that it was right. It is right to put the X.
I think the more important point though is when, you know, because I mean this would be carefully I think that you thought through carefully. This is not mistake when Tufton announced to the people and to the rest of the world that Andrew don't like bright people around him. You know. I think that is more of a more moment than the fact that he had a slip of the tongue with the place in the X beside the head. And also when Audley Shaw...
I guess it's the same thing I'm telling you about the PNP victory 24. And to like people who can say, when you lose another, me know. That him win and they said, well, me,
I have to leave you there now, Mr. Gray. I have to leave you.
When is school opening?
Boy, I gather that it's going to open Monday, close back and then reopen. I think it's
roll out and make we see. Because, like me tell you, we're not against children being properly transported to school.
Have to leave you, Mr. Gray. Your minutes are up. All right, thanks a lot. Good. All right, so Madam Producer, thanks for the management. Please just work with me with the 5 minutes rubric that we set. All right, hello, caller. All right, we tried to fix that one. All right, the time is now 10:57, and of course we're in the hour that is sponsored by our friends at Wellington Dental, Dr. Palmer and her team. Of course, we're hoping to have a special program here next week, Wednesday. All things being equal, we're working at it. It's election day. We will be, if we're once we're here, we may go up until, you know, well, the regular 12 o'clock, but maybe an additional half an hour or so, or hour. We will be trying to get as much roundup from across the island, you know, people speaking to us, telling us what's happening on the ground and so on. So we're hoping to put something together. Hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of sponsors to carry that program next week, Wednesday. We anticipate and see what's happening there. Hello, caller. Oh my goodness. I don't know what is he's not. It's a Lewis. Look like him asleep. All right. The callers are there, but for that hear them. Caller, you can. The numbers are not. The lines are available, Madam Producer. All right, both lines are available now. 876-212-9824. 876-462-0919. All right. Remember that coming up at 11:10 this morning, we'll be talking to Ethne Miller Simpson. She is the candidate for Northwest St. Andrew. Yes, Northwest St. Andrew. She'll be talking to us, as to what is shaping up there in that constituency. A constituency that normally you would really pencil in from early from the JLP, but I gather that there's something happening there in Northwest St. Andrew under the leadership of Ethne Miller Simpson. So let's see what will happen there. The Observer is carrying a picture of Don Webby, the former CEO, the late CEO of Grace Kennedy. And, we're saying this Sunday in your Observer, page 88, there are tribute to Don Webby, all right, one of Jamaica's son that had basically served the country well, made great contribution in the business of commerce, and so on there at Grace Kennedy. May his soul rest in peace and light perpetually shine on his face, as we say hi and welcome to Wayne Williams and also Garfield Harriet, who joining us now. Let's see if we have some other expression here. Daniel Taylor is Jamaican. Good morning, sir. You are entitled to your opinion, but to access Mr. Conrad, to access Mr. Conrad like that, you should be immediately flush. All right. Flush, disrespectful. All right. These things happen. And Miss Rita is saying, morning, Mr. O'Brien, also Mr. Tavares, and all followers. One love. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. All right. And Sonia Jones, is this my cousin Sonia Jones, saying the church has lost their flavor which is Jesus Christ who will be saved. All right. We have one there, Madam Producer. Okay, we are going to the break. So when we come back, we will have our guest, Ethne Simpson Miller. Let's go to the 11 o'clock break as we close out the Wellington Dental Hour.
The preceding hour was brought to you by Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Wellington Dental, providing dental care at its best.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join McWitalk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and McWitalk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
A common misconception is that on election day, you vote for the Prime Minister. However, that is not the case. You vote for your Member of Parliament. Welcome to Notify. Let's break down what really happens at the polling stations. First things first, you must be 18 or older, a Jamaican citizen or Commonwealth resident, and you must be registered with the Electoral Office of Jamaica.
Podcast from NPR.
On election day, go to your polling station between the times announced. Present your voter's ID, and this will be checked against the voters list. Once verified by the presiding officer, you'll be able to cast your vote. Some polling stations might be using EVIS, the Electronic Voter Identification System, where you will be asked to place a specific finger on a fingerprint scanner to verify your identity. Inside the polling station, you will be provided with a pencil, which you will use to mark an X beside the candidate of your choice. This person will represent your constituency and become your member of parliament. After that, you'll dip your right index finger in ink to show that you've cast your vote. Ensure that you watch as the presiding officer places your unopened ballot into the ballot box. Remember, you're voting for your member of parliament and not directly for the party leader, unless they are your member of parliament. The party leader that wins the most seats across all 63 constituencies becomes the prime minister. Once you've made your vote, it's time for the Electoral Office of Jamaica to count the ballots. Stay tuned to find out what happens after the ballots are in. My name is Krista Fuller, and this has been Notify.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Considered view that the 3.5 million threshold increase that was recently announced is nothing but a Sam-Fi political scam. In the beginning it was 2.1, then it became 3, then it disappeared, and then it appeared 1 week before an election. You have to tell the people of Jamaica, I ask you to tell the people of Jamaica, is this just an election scam, or is it that you are going to be cutting much needed services such as NHF, where we spend $19 billion for drugs in hospitals, or university spending, which is $17 billion. Tell us how you plan to really cut discretionary areas, as you have called them.
I answered the question already, but I'm going to answer it again for the Jamaican people. I have said we are going to raise the threshold to $3.5 million. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that because your budget says that $140 billion of additional government revenues will be earned over 3 years. But that is at your 1% growth, which you have no ambition on. We're going to grow the economy by more than that so that we can pay for these things. There's also a benefit when you put more money in the hands of people because they're going to spend it, which will allow the government to collect more on GCT and other indirect taxes. We are the party committed to ensuring that all Jamaicans thrive and not just a few. Our plan is better. It is more equitable. Their plan will benefit the richer people more. Ours will benefit the working people, our nurses, our policemen, the security guards, the civil servants, to put more money to ease the pressure of the cost of living that they have to face. That is our commitment as a party of social justice and equality. So when you talk about Samfire, what Samfire you're talking about? Madness you're talking about? We will deliver on behalf of the Jamaican people. We have a history of protecting our most vulnerable and ensuring that they have more money to spend so that they can protect their families and those around them.
I've had to work for anything that I've had. I have said it before and I will say it again. I don't know what a gold spoon looks like. It has never been in my mouth. So Comrade Golden, when I hear Andrew
I say never born with gold spoon in my mouth. That does not mean you should steal it.
I have no inheritance or any endowment or any trust fund anywhere.
That does not mean you should steal it. St. Anne, and you can trust that when you send me to Parliament, you're not have a bench warmer or a table knocker, but you have a champion who is ready to serve you. And so I do not have to ask, but I know no one me ask anyway. Northwest St. Anne, are you ready? Oh, my comrades, see the signal waving in the sky. Reinforcements now appearing. Victory.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Yes, Jamaica. The date has been set. The date has been called. Let's get together to pray for the Lord to have his way. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Calling all Jamaicans to the All Red, All Night Prayer Meeting, August 29, before the election. It's 2025, August 29, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Calling all prayer warriors, all intercessors, all church members. Let's pray that God will reverse the order back to the sender. The Portmore Mega Center, 18 West Tradeway, Portmore Town Center. Come on, come on.
We're up back live
Come,
on the
let's
Conrad
pray.
OB TikTok page. We're also streaming live and the Make We Talk YouTube channel as well. Please go to the Upper Play Store and download the News Talk 93 FM app, depending on which phone you're using. And indeed, just before I go to my guest, Miss Curiosity Kid is saying the church is lost, and Daryl's getting a lot of beating on this one with the ritual that he carried out on the bus. Satan is glad. Sonia Jones is saying that is why Christian should be careful who you vote for. Jesus Christ no mixed up with witchcraft. And Vilma Henry is saying, Conrad, I never miss out on your program. I watch your program working most days when you are on, because your time work well with me. I always enjoy listening to your platform in the UK. Thanks a lot for that. We're indeed very, very happy to hear. Oh my goodness. Keep on losing this feed here. Don't know what's going on. Hello. Our guest is on, Madam Producer. All right. So this morning, of course, our spotlight segment here, we'll be featuring Ethne Miller, but let me just give the treatment here. Welcome to our feature spotlight. Welcome to our feature spotlight as we focus on the 2025 general election. So as Jamaica heads towards the general election, all eyes are on the economy and especially on what was laid out in the recent finance debate. From tax relief proposed. Sorry, that's I'm reading the. Oh wow, yes, I'm reading the wrong thing. Thanks a lot, Madam Producer. So, welcome back to Straight Up. As the country gears up for the upcoming general election, we are continuing our series of conversation with candidates who are putting themselves forward to serve. Today, we are returning our attention to St. Andrew, Southwest St. I'm sorry, St. Andrew. Sorry, Ethne. Pardon me. Pardon me, Ethne. And why are you laughing? Sorry, I have a little cross here on my brief. It's actually St. Andrew Northwest, right?
Yes.
St. Andrew Northwestern, a constituency with a rich history and a dynamic population. Joining us this morning is a woman who wears many hats: entrepreneur, communicator, community advocate. She now aiming to represent the people of that great constituency under the banner of the People's National Party. Ethne, it's my pleasure welcoming you back here and Straight Up and News Talk 93 FM with yours truly, Conrad OBrian, the fireman. How are you doing, Ethne?
I'm doing well, and thank you so much for having me again, Obi.
Yes.
Good morning to your listeners.
Thanks a lot. And, I tell you something, Ethne, my listeners are all over the place on various platforms, and I can tell you they're going at it. It is really election season. So they are, and they are listening, and some of them are saying to me that I must hail up Mama San. That's one of your constituents who jet in yesterday. Yes. I understand that the constituency, Ethne, with your energy and her energy and other energy to come in, because Ethne, I'm getting the story and I understand that plane load of people are coming in,
You're right about that. And some of them have reached out and we have responded. So yes, man, we're looking forward to them being here.
Absolutely. No, Mrs. Ethne Miller Simpson. We know who Ethne is. We just reiterate, entrepreneur, educator, and so on and so forth. But here is it. You have a job at hand now to take that constituency into the column of the People's National Party. Talk to us about your preparation and where are you on this journey without basically spilling the beam as it relates to your strategies.
Well, let me tell you, the 45 years of Labour leadership really has taken a toll on the constituency, so much so that when we did our assessment, it is really about a rebuilding of Northwest. But first, we wanted to understand the heart of Northwest. We wanted to understand the people of Northwest. And what persons have said to us is...
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Ethne, I'm listening. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and what persons have said to us is that this is a constituency they want to call home. Many persons in Kingston, when trying to decide where to settle, where to buy property, looking at spaces where they know their property value will be increasing and improving over time, Northwest is the place that they choose. Now, in making that choice, I'm looking right across the constituency. We have a diverse grouping of people. We have persons who may be considered, in a city, we have 45% middle class. We have persons who have worked all their lives and have retired comfortably. We also have a business class here and persons who may be considered upper class, right? Mm-hmm. If you use those terminologies and those labels.
It's a situation that we have to live with. Of course, in Jamaica, we talk about the different classes. So that's understood. You know that people are people and you're representing everyone. But
people are people, and that's all we are at the end of the day. Right?
Indeed.
So in looking at the diversity we have here, what has struck us is that people want to own a piece of property. Jamaicans want to own their own homes, want to own their own land. And many persons are saying they want to live here. And what does that look like for them? What kind of liberty do they want, to borrow a Rastafarian terminology, right? So when you look at it, the Northwest liberty is one of having a comfortable home, being able to have your value appreciate, and that value in land or your home appreciate, as well as your value. So in having that conversation, now we said, okay, it simply means that this is a place everybody wants to call home. Are people happy here? What makes us happy here? And what is making us unhappy? Over the last 45 years, you've had JLP leadership in the constituency. Has that really worked for the people of Northwest? The answer is no.
Yes.
Because persons are still unhappy with the state of the building stock.
And you have had high profile, quote unquote, high profile politicians, ministers of government.
Precisely. We had a former minister of national security in Derek Smith. We had a former minister of finance in Nigel Vaz. And the reality is that the person who is now there, who is doing Smith, doesn't cast as big a shadow, right? And the reality from the ground, from the persons that he has represented in the last 9 years, because he was the councillor for Chancery, the Chancery residents are displeased with his performance and his representation. Now,
and certainly he cannot separate himself from the constituency at all.
No, he can't. He tried to separate himself from his father when he started out with his campaign to say, I am not my father. But in the last couple of weeks, it has been stick with Smith all of a sudden. And how can you stick with something that is not working? It has not worked for you, right? So whether you look at the infrastructure in the constituency, it is the same infrastructure that was there 30 years ago. The improvements, quote unquote, is really additions, not improvement, because people have come in and settled here and have built their homes. So the housing stock, we need to look at that. We need to look at are people comfortable living behind zinc fences, which is why the Porsche initiative that the People's National Party is coming with is so groundbreaking, and so, people are looking forward to that. We are also assessing, because the housing plans that were outlined by Senator Floyd Morris, we're looking to see where we can put up some houses, as has been indicated by that housing policy, where, we're putting 50,000 homes across the country. And going back to the drawing board, sorry, go ahead.
Mrs. Miller, you actually talk about the Porsche initiative, which include building out of sidewalks and so on. There are pockets in your constituency that may have zinc fences. Well, that is a part of moving those zinc fences. Also, your constituency is one that have a great dormitory community that would have a lot of older folks. So all of this Porsche initiative, it's one that really dovetails so nicely into your own plans, eh?
It does beautifully, because we're saying, listen, we want sustainable living. In a nutshell, that's really what it is.
Yes.
And that sustainable living should be one where my seniors are comfortable walking from their homes because the sidewalks are clear, and they're able to go to the pharmacy, they can go to the market, the little sidewalk,
and the folks with disabilities as well.
Precisely. I've seen where persons with disabilities struggle because, and this is not unique to just this constituency, because, hey, it happens across the country. So it's something, this is why the People's National Party is looking at this as a policy and saying that, we want to situate persons with disabilities at the center of everything that we're doing, right? So the sidewalks, yes, I've seen where they clear the roads, they fix the road, they fix a pothole, they dig out is the square, the square that they cut out.
Yeah, become pot bump.
Right, and then they take that debris and they dump it on the sidewalk. They're dumping it on the sidewalk. Now, how can that be? Why is it so hard for us to have a truck that is running alongside, doing the repairs, and able to actually just dump the debris into the back of a truck? They leave it there on the sidewalk, assuming that somebody else is going to come along whose job it is to clean it up, and they never return. So when you talk about sustainable living as we have defined it, we want greener spaces, we want a conversation with all the agents to say, listen, we don't only want you to build a park, it needs to be maintained. So we don't only depend on the community groups and the churches to come out and maintain the park. That's a big issue for us because we want to have some green spaces where people can sit in comfort, children can play, the elderly can come out and sit and exercise if they want to, right?
Stay with me right there on the park, Ethne, because what happened, this one seems to be coming up. It seems to be a recurring decimal. That part, that $75 or $72 million was spent, and we gather that it's really a grass yard. And I understand that the people of your constituency are saying that, listen, this is a part of the reason why they will be going out next week, Wednesday, and speak with their finger and cast that vote for Ethne Miller Simpson and the People's National Party. That's what my information is saying. Is that what you're picking up in the constituency, Ethne?
From day one, it was the burning issue that greeted me on day one, week one, month one. Because the communities of, let's say, Marvelly, Renfield, Hewenden Avenue, as far as 3 Oaks, Glendale, many of those persons have said, listen, the Marvelly Flowers Park was a piece of the soul of this constituency, right? And what has happened is that they came and decided that they were going to build a state-of-the-art, that's what they call it, a state-of-the-art facility, right? They had the Prime Minister here, Minister Nigel Clark was here, all of them came, right? With their ribbon cutting and their digging of dirt and what have you. And when they left, they made a commitment. The money was spent as far as the residents have been told, and all the documents have indicated that the money has been spent. And what we have there, what greeted me when I came to this constituency, or came back to this constituency, is a space that has trees fully grown, overgrown bush, right? You have persons walking through the park and afraid of being held up and robbed. And you had a couple incidents of rape right there in the park, right? There having been instances where people using it as a sanitary convenience. That is what they have turned the park into. And let me tell you, culturally, people need to understand how communities are built.
Yes.
Right? And these people, the residents, decided they were putting this together. They built the Source, which is a homework center.
Yes.
That was there at the park. The children had somewhere to come and sit and do their homework if their parents were not yet home, or they could socialize while doing their homework and, do their group work and projects and so on. And that was erased. It was erased by Nigel Clark. Right?
Wow.
And since coming in,
a man who has shown no commitment to Jamaica, he shows that he is not a patriotic Jamaica, because the first opportunity he gets to leave Jamaica for quote unquote greener pasture, he took it up.
There you go.
Would you do that? Would you do that, Ethne? Well, you have done the reverse. You have done the reverse. You have done the reverse. You have left opportunity overseas to come and serve your people here.
Yes, I have, because I was offered a job in Papua New Guinea when I was working with Digicel. I could have lived in Australia. I have traveled extensively because of the work I've done, not just with Digicel, but also UN Women and UN Caribbean. I'm a part of the U.S. State Department program, so therefore I've been to Chile and Brazil.
But hold on there, Mrs. Simpson Miller. You have all those accolades under your belt. So here it is, as we said in our opening, that this constituency is known for quote unquote heavyweight and high profile ethnic. Based on what you I'm serious. Based on what you have just trot out there, you fit nicely into this if we are to use the rubric of what some people would talk about. Because here you are, with all those accolades, you are really nicely placed to form. Well, I won't go there because that will be that will be the call of the next prime minister should the people give Mark the chance. So I'm not going to preempt him. I'm not going to force his hand into anything. But certainly, Ethne, you're well qualified.
Yes, I am. I've been very blessed, Obi, because let me tell you, I've greeted life with an enthusiasm that it's really my parents who helped to shape that. Yeah. And when I see opportunities, I go after them. And I've been very blessed to work with these different entities. I've interviewed Richard Branson, one of the few persons on the island that has actually interviewed, Sir Richard Branson.
Yes.
And like I said, I've worked with digital and traveled extensively. I built digital university.
Yes.
Putting the curriculum together.
Okay.
And also through with NCB Corporate Learning Campus. And the work that I've done with the UN and so on and the ILO has largely been around entrepreneurship, women in business, gender and human rights. So therefore, in coming into Northwest and looking at Northwest and realizing that we want to build a community, we want to enhance this community so that we all have a share and a stake as well as the responsibility. The carrying capacity of the constituency, looking to see as persons as we're building, because we are now in this phase of development where we have the high-rise buildings that are going up. How do we ensure that we all coexist? Those are some of the conversations that need to happen. But the little man who is living, the little man who is living anywhere in this constituency wants to know that his property value is going to be assured. We want to ensure that when the buildings are being put up on the hill, there are 5 new developments that are supposed to be coming for the Red Hills area.
Yes.
We have to look at the traffic concerns. We must look at the water runoff issues. How is the water coming down the hill? When I walked, for example, in Brook Valley last week, a resident was pointing it out to me and says, "Miss, there's a channel right there. That's where the water comes down." And I'm going to go back there with my team and have a look at it, because when I walked on Patrick Drive, Conway, Daytona, and they tell me how much water, and I've seen it for myself, how much water comes down. A lady will call them pee-pee holes. She said they took out the cattle trap type of drain and put in 2 smaller drains which cannot carry the amount of water. So when my residents down in the part now are saying to me, "Miss Miller, we're flooding out down here," so you understand? We must take a proactive approach. We have to look at the water origination that is coming down the hill, right? Where is that water going to go? Can we harness that water? Are the developments that are going to be put in, are we not going to say to them, "Listen, you now have a responsibility to use solar"? Because we have an energy issue in the country. This is why when we had the town hall meeting in Havendale, I invited Philip Paulwell, who gave a very good picture of our energy crisis that we have here. So talking to the developers, what conversations can we now have with them to say, "Listen, put in these things for energy, put in these things for water storage and water harvesting."
Good. Ethne, just stick a pin there, because I want to get this in terms of time. One of your residents here, a person by the name of Blake, is saying that please, I should please tell you to, let me see if I can read it there. Please tell your guests to come to Meadowland Community.
Yes, I got that call 2 days ago.
All right, good.
I got the call. So actually, today is Thursday. You should see me. If not this evening, it's going to be tomorrow.
All right, good. Yeah. And Ethne, let's just. Wow, where are we with time, Madam Producer? Break. All right, Ethne, I'm going to ask you to stay for 5 minutes on the other side, because I want to talk to you about something that is actually brewing in the constituency as well. Just hold on for me.
Yes,
please.
Do.
Good.
Considered view that the 3.5 million
Jamaica, the current macroeconomic figures look good, but what is your lived reality? What do you go through every single day? The reality you face is that you are living hand to mouth. You are working, but you can only afford to go to work and come back based on the wages that you earn. You are working poor. 55% of Jamaicans are considered food insecure, which means they cannot afford to eat a proper meal per day. If they go to the hospitals that Chris supposed to build, Them can't find toilet paper or a bed. Jamaica, you deserve better. Time come for a better life. The next People's National Party administration will lift the tax threshold to 3.5 million so we can put more money in the pockets of working Jamaicans. We are going to eliminate the tax on overtime so that, again, people can get a break. The same people who are working hard to build our economy. We are going to run a more efficient economy so that this thing called the Office of Plenty Ministries, that is a bottleneck where nothing can go through and it takes you a year to do something. We are going to eliminate those efficiencies so that we can grow the economy beyond 1%. We are going to ensure that anybody who is the first in their family gets a scholarship, and that means for persons who are currently at university, we are going to ensure that those who are buying a house get the $500,000 deposit. And I want to assure persons who earn over 3.5 million that this tax benefit is for you too. So what are we going to do? We're going to build a Jamaica in which all Jamaicans can feel a part of. So come September 3rd, when you go to the polling station, I want you to think carefully. I want you to use your head and put the X beside the head.
Time.
Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why?
5 to 6.
You know why? You must vote them out. Not because you're JLP. God don't like us. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why? You know why? You must vote them out? Not because you're JLP. God don't like us.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
NRP standard bearer for Southwestern St. Andrew. I can't make mistake with that this time. I don't want ethnic and our people them to come for me because listen, they guard their north, their Southwest zealously. Am I correct there, Mrs. Miller? Hello? Wow. Hold on. Not hearing ethnic. Hello?
Hi, Obi?
Yeah, man. I was saying that I'm making sure. You have me on speaker, Ethne?
I'm hearing you now.
Yes, I'm saying that I'm making sure I get your constituency correct because I know that you and your constituency basically are jealous people when it comes to your Southwest St. Andrew. But here is it, Ethne. Just journey with me in this community now of Marvelly, a community that you have a lot of youngsters, a lot of talent there as it relates to, persons who are singers, entertainers, young ladies who are looking forward to basically be creators on their TikTok space and so on. What are the plans you have for those people in, that your constituency generally are repleted with that kind of talent, but in Marvelly to be exact?
I'm happy you asked that question because we have two things on the horizon. One, we recognize that, yes, we have a lot of talent, and that if my memory serves me right, this is the constituency that has produced so many artists, so many producers. We have QQ, we have Tony Rebel, we have Frankie Music, and I could go on and list so many.
QQ is from your constituency? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, for sure. And what we want to do is simply this, is harness these creative minds and say to them, listen, partner with us in a project or a program. We're creating some creative districts. So Marvelly, for example, could be named one of the creative districts, similar to how there is one going to, we're going to do one for, let's say, Brook Valley, where we already have the Striker Lee Museum and Recording Studio. And we're targeting music first, right? Because you have a young person who has a tune in them head and them say, boy, I like all this sound. But we're trying to we're going to help them figure out now how to get that tune out of their head and get their words and the music and the notes into a song and get it produced. But also, after they have done the physical putting together of that song, then the question is the business of the music. Now, how do we help teach that? How do we help them to get some kind of internship with one of these studios where they can observe it being done, they can go and sit with the studio engineer and see exactly how it is done. And once they've learned it, then we help them with the business part of it. So we put in some classes, they come and sit in some courses with us. And we can then bring in the established artists who can then tell them about all the pain points, right? So this program of creating the creative districts, as we've called it, and working along with our spokesperson on the creative industries, who is Deborah Hickling Gordon, is to try to put these concepts together, whether it's around a dance studio or a music studio or some other type of creative entity. Right in Marvelly, when we rebuild the park, and notice I'm saying when we rebuild the Marvelly Flowers Park, we would want to even have a space there because there's nowhere in the constituency that comfortably, if I want to go and say have a meeting, let's say we're doing this interview, Obi, if suppose my house is noisy, maybe I have kids and so on, and I want an office space, I would like to just go in and rent a small office space, have this meeting for an hour, pay for it and leave. That doesn't quite exist, right? And we want to do something like that at the park, where
you're creating an atmosphere to even generate income from the park that could plow back into the community itself.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent idea.
We want to put up a facility there where the children can come back and have their homework center. But also, yes, there is that space, an entrepreneurial type of space. We can do some seminars there for young people. right? And also too, when a person has an idea for a business, they want to be able to come get the business advisory services. We can partner with the Heart Trust to do that and build out the creative district in the Marvally community as well as the Brook Valley community, and we might even be looking at one in Jackson Town because that is where Orville Hall has his dance studio.
Oh yes.
Exactly. So that is the trajectory there. Now the second
one of our most famous dancers here in Jamaica.
Yes, ma'am. Right? So the second thing now is that apart from the creative business district, we want to have a business clinic, a 10,000 strong business clinic, where we help with the economic empowerment of our young people. We help with the entrepreneurship idea generation or ideation, right? And then too, similar to how we would have gone to a JVDC to get that kind of partnership. Yes, we can have it here in partnership with JVDC, or we can do it ourselves, right?
Yes.
And then to have our expos. Have our expos that people can come in to see what our businesses are generating. So we want to do that 10,000 strong business clinic. We want to execute it maybe in partnership with Pembroke High School.
Yes.
Because we have to look at using the facilities that exist. You don't have to build something new.
Yes.
After school hours in the evenings, can we partner with Heart and bring in the young people and, have them use the facility that is there?
Yes.
Or on a Saturday or on a Sunday.
Excellent, Ethne. As you know, time is always the master, but certainly, Ethne, listen to you. You have a raft of ideas to really move this constituency forward. It has been with the Jamaica Labour Party for the last 45 years. And certainly, I have journeyed into that constituency and I've not seen any form of development like you're talking about. So all in all, the people of Jamaica, the people of that constituency, Southwest, St. Andrew, have some. I'm sorry, Northwest. I'm sorry, Northwest. What am I saying? Northwest Center, Northwest St. Andrew. St. Andrew, they have something to look forward to by voting for Ethne Miller Simpson next week, Wednesday.
There's one other thing. Because I've had so much international experience, then I'm going to bring the international experience here.
Yes.
So all of these international organizations that I've worked with, whether it is Vital Voices, the U.S. State Department, Sherry Blair program, we're going to be bringing partnerships with these international organizations right here to Marvally, right here to Pembroke Hall, right to Brook Valley.
When you talk about State Department, the people now come check if your visa, darling.
Well, that's a whole different conversation that I have no control over. No evil.
Yes, I'm just pulling one there. Yes. So, Ethne, please use the final 60 seconds or so and make your pitch, make your point. Here you are. You have the constituency. They're listening to you. Why should they come out and vote for you next week, Wednesday?
Voting for Ethne Miller Simpson on election day is a vote for Martin Bowling and a vote for the People's National Party. It is a vote for a new vision and a better future. And simply put, we want to build that future with you. So as your new member of parliament, all the different things that we're talking about, whether it is the mobile constituency office or business districts or creative districts that we're setting up, the international partnerships that we're bringing into Northwest St. Andrew, you have that opportunity to choose that on election day. So when you do, put the X beside the head and vote for Ethne Miller Simpson, MP, Northwest St. Andrew.
Indeed. Excellent. So the people there, whether it is the young people, the middle age or the older folks, there you have it. You heard from your future member of parliament, Ethne Miller Simpson. And indeed, what you have there a representative from the Jamaica Labour Party for 45 years. You must make the choice. Are you satisfied with the building out of your community or not? There's a clear choice there. Thanks a lot, Mrs. Miller.
You're most welcome, Obi, anytime. And thank you to your listeners.
Bless you. All right.
We interrupt this program to bring you an item of news coming into us. This is Make We Talk Breaking News. An item of news coming into us: a major joint police military operation is now underway in Fairtown, St. Anne's Bay. Thus, a major joint police military operation is now underway in Fairtown, Discovery Bay in St. Anne's. As soon as we get more news, we will pass it on to you. But the police has just informed us that there is a major military police operation underway in St. Anne's Bay. That's Freetown, Discovery Bay, St. Anne's. A major joint police military operation is underway in Freetown, Discovery Bay in St. Anne's. As soon as we get more news, we will pass it on to you. We go back over to Conrad OBrian with his program Straight Up. This is Make We Talk Breaking News. This is Make We Talk Breaking News.
The loss of those two youngsters. The Gleaner front page here has in its front page Jay Dixon and also Fritz of the JLP. Those are two persons who are going up. Fritz is going up against Julian Robinson, yes, and Jay Dixon is going up against Mr. Morgan down there in Clarendon. All right, Wholeness and Golden face off tonight, and there are pictures here of Trevor Monroe and this is Miss Michael Jackson basically expressing their view as to, I'm coming, Mr. Lewis, as Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and opposition leader Mark Golding come face to face tonight in the leadership debate. Issues around constitutional reform and fight against corruption and FinSac are among several questions being posed by Michael Jackson, Executive Director of Jamaica for Justice and former Principal Director of the National Integrity Action and Professor Emeritus, Professor Trevor Monroe. Very, very interesting discussion tonight. So it's a part of Vote Jamaica 2025. All right. Welcome, caller. Thanks for holding.
Morning, sir.
Hi, how are you doing, Mr. Lewis?
All right.
Good. Talk to me.
The first thing I want to deal with is water supply in Trankfield.
Mm-hmm.
Where I live, about 2 weeks now, no water.
Wow. How are you managing, man?
But there's a water supply where we get water for our Peckham, but that source, the water is not clean, so I have to be taking water from a certain distance to my home.
Okay. So hold on. You normally have water in your pipe, right?
Yeah.
At home. So the fact through the NWC.
Yeah.
So the fact that is out for the last 2 weeks, haven't the NWC afford you guys any trucking water in there?
Well, people might get but you would have to live on the main.
Oh.
Where the truck can come directly. But what is happening, the pressure is a bit low, and you have many persons tapping into the source and filling up the tanks, whatever they have in their truck, and carrying the water and filling it all about the place.
Wow.
So that is what is happening, and it's like we have
because other people need the water, so people tap into the source, get the water, and make a commercial venture out of it.
Right, because you have...
So you see why water system need to be fixed, sir?
Well, and you have people too, we have car wash. We're using the water a lot, washing cars and things. And the people them on the hills. And those people not paying anything. And the ones that we are thief the water from... Actually, in the town too, so just above the town there, up at the old railway there, so.
Yes.
They use this and down Chowtal. And sell it all over the place. So when they say I'm tapping like say 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. at night, by about 5, 6, they full up and can sell it. And that's for them I make their money.
Mr. Lewis, you mentioned a very famous place there, Trout Hall. That community of Frankfield was always known for some of the best oranges, you know, the Artmead orange and so on. Are there still any of that kind of cultivation orange in that area? You know, it's still a thriving area for orange.
The thing about it, we have 2 major citrus diseases now.
Yes.
Where tend to wipe out the citrus industry. So you have the first one we call Tristesia.
Yes.
That those citrus that were budded on civil orange, it wipe them out. Then you have them bringing some little rootstock from China all about. After I use them. But you have another disease now and you have greening.
Yes.
They're wiping them out again.
Wow.
So they're going back now to civil orange again. Because civil orange produce is a stronger rootstock in a sense, you know.
Yes.
But the others were some like ornamental features.
So would you be able now to get the engraftment from the civil orange now, so you get the sweet orange? How would that be?
The civil orange.
Yes.
The civil orange would be the rootstock.
Yes.
Yeah. So I they usually know, but
so you think, Mr. Lewis, that is something that, you know, whoever wins at the poll come next week, Wednesday, would really need to look at how they can get back into looking at those areas to create some additional, to create some.
I think the people that will have the secret to it, you know, is McConnell. Those guys in the St. Catherine area.
So up there, who is it owned by? Those lands up there that
we don't Chowtal.
Yes.
Chowtal. Sharp. The Sharp them.
The Sharp. So are they still interested in that business? Or they doing anything?
A lot of cane, no. They're planting a lot of cane.
They're doing cane now.
Yeah. Those people rich, you know, and they're involved with call it illegal ganja and so.
well. How you know so the man them involved in the illegal ganja?
Yeah, man, they're involved. They have in greenhouse and stuff.
Oh.
Those are millionaires, you know, coming from way back.
Yeah,
my father used to work with them, you know. But as I say, with the citrus industry, the secret to it, the McConnell, they know that they know a lot.
Yeah, that's true. The Treadwinds,
I can tell you, we even did when I was in the school system. We did a research thing, and the 2 diseases, Tristesia and greening. McConnell,
yes,
because they can use water and so on. And they know the micronutrients and macronutrients.
Mr. Lewis, I will leave you. I'm going to try to take one more for today. All right, okay, thanks a lot. Good. So let's see if we can take. The first.
Hello.
Yeah, man. Bongo Wagwan. Boy, me know you are calling us. So me I give you the final bite of the cherry. Where else, my brethren? Talk to me. Use it wisely today.
Mr. Luther Buchanan.
Yes.
Realizes that the error and the disrespect in that Bloodfire song, he come out and condemn Mark Golding. Yesterday in a voice note, I called you a couple, maybe weeks or months ago, and I was condemned by your caller, including Marianne Marsh, for the PNP in this day and age for Mark Golding to revive a song, Blood and Fire.
Have you called the Salvation Army to rebuke them as well for having that as their team song?
The Salvation Army, the Salvation Army is not seeking to lead Jamaica.
They are a religious group. Hold on, they are one of them. Hold on, sir. I have a limited time. They are one of the most. They're one of the most respected group, and this is a nonsense argument you're coming with. And Luther Buchanan could have talked till him blue way, must have made no sense whatsoever. And tell Luther say Conrad OBrian, the fireman, said Luther, I'm a friend. Is rubbish Luther talking. You hear me,
so
sir?
let me say this. Hold on. I'm telling you that as a Jamaican, I know the history of Blood and Fire. I have the decency.
Have you called anybody over? Hold on. Have you called anybody over the Labour Party and tell them? Hold on, sir. Hold on. Have you called anybody on the Labour Party side and tell them that Andrew Holness is not fit for purpose because his filing cannot be certified and he's on the investigation for illicit enrichment? Have you called them and tell them that? You come with nonsense about a song that talking about blood and fire. The blood is the blood of God. The blood of God, and the spirit is the spirit of the Holy Spirit. Bongo, stop that foolishness.
You know why I call this often? I'm giving a rope because Israel record how you treat this caller. Disrespect. Yes. You're over talking me. I am telling you that as a leader of this country, we should never go back.
All right, Bongo, have to run, Bongo. Time on me. Thanks a lot, Bongo, for today. I won't be in tomorrow. My brethren, my friend and brother, Jermaine Barrett, will be here tomorrow. I'm sure that he will lead the charge in a very, very good way. And I invite you to join him. Let me say thanks to all of you who joined me. Those of you on the Make We Talk YouTube channel, on the Conrad OB Facebook page, on the mainstream radio 93 FM. Those of you who listen on the World Wide Web, all over, want to say thanks. And thanks to my guest, Ethne Simpson Miller, the candidate for the PNP for Northwest St. Andrew. On behalf of my producer, Tanya Richards, Conrad OBrian saying bye-bye.
The preceding hour was brought to you.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Oh Lord, I'm here talking now. I didn't realize that the mic was still muted. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much, students. Thank you. I was saying that the person you heard on Conrad OBrian's the last person that called Conrad OBrian a while ago is that same idiot there that the name of John from the Labour Party, giving himself name Bongo. That same idiot named John go around chatting pure nonsense all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, people, join us this evening for a live coverage of the leadership debate between Andrew Holness and Mark Jefferson Golding, Andrew Holness of the Jamaica Labour Party, and Mr. Mark Golding of the People's National Party. It will be live on the Make We Talk program, so come on over. Hopefully we're going to have a pre-debate discussion before that. If not, that's okay. Just come on over and join us. We will be here bringing it to you live. And of course, September 3rd, it's election day in Jamaica. Tomorrow, August 29th, it's election for the civil servants, police, military, teachers, and so forth. They will, and election day workers. I don't think it's teachers. It's election day workers and police will be voting tomorrow. So look out for that. Start from 8 o'clock a.m. in the morning to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And that is going to happen in Jamaica. So stand by for all of that for tomorrow. But this evening at 10 a.m., this evening at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. in Jamaica, we will be bringing to you live the leadership debate between the two political leaders, the two party leaders, Mark Jefferson Golden of the People's National Party and Andrew Holness of the Jamaica Labour Party. Until then, until you hear my voice again, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. And for God's sake, be respectful to someone and in the chat room. Until you hear my voice again, I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying so long. Have a great day. Until I see you again this evening at 10 p.m. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
You can trust that when you send me to Parliament, you're not have a bench warmer or a table knocker, but you have a champion who is ready to serve you. And so I do not have to ask, but I know no one me ask anyway. Northwest St. Anne, are you ready? Oh, my comrades, see the signal waving in the sky. Reinforcements now appearing. Victory, victory, victory.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
How many times have you woken up? You look around and you feel fed up.
If the government isn't working, why keep them? If the opposition wasn't working when they had the chance, why recycle? Jamaica, it's time for real change. The Jamaica Progressive Party, JPP, is the change you need. North, East, and Catherine. That change starts with your General Secretary of the JPP, Robert Rainford, a pastor and chairman of the Bamboo Industry Association of Jamaica, who has served as permanent secretary in the Ministries of Justice and Local Government, with decades of proven leadership and tireless service to our nation, Jamaica, dedicated to ensuring a better future for all. Together with the JPP and your support, his mandate is to build stronger communities, create jobs, support education, and restore integrity in government. Jamaica, North, East, and Catherine. Choose real change. Vote Robert Rainford. Vote JPP. Right party, right time. Put your X beside the hands that pray.
How many times have you woken up? you look around and you feel fed up, how many promises did they break? Voting no feels like a mistake. We have endured the lies for 62 years, and both of them don't even. Yes, Jamaica, the date has been set, the date has been called. Let's get together to pray for the Lord to have his way. Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers, calling all Jamaicans to the all red, all night prayer meeting, August 29, before the election. It's 2025, August 29, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Calling all prayer warriors, all intercessors, all church members. Let's pray that God will reverse the order back to the sender. The Portmore Mega Center, 18 West Tradeway, Portmore Town Center. Come one, come all. Come, let's pray to the living God. Jamaica, Jamaica is not what man says, is what God says. Come, let's pray. Jamaica, we must reverse the order. It's the 29th, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Portmore Town Center, Breakthrough Mega Church in Portmore. See you there.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join McWeTalk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and McWeTalk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join McWeTalk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and McWeTalk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
A common misconception is that on election day, you vote for the Prime Minister. However, that is not the case. You vote for your Member of Parliament. Welcome to Notify. Let's break down what really happens at the polling stations. First things first, you must be 18 or older, a Jamaican citizen or Commonwealth resident, and you must be registered with the Electoral Office of Jamaica. On election day, go to your polling station between the times announced. Present your voter's ID, and this will be checked against the voters list. Once verified by the presiding officer, you'll be able to cast your vote. Some polling stations might be using EVIS, the Electronic Voter Identification System, where you will be asked to place a specific finger on a fingerprint scanner to verify your identity. Inside the polling station, you will be provided with a pencil, which you will use to mark an X beside the candidate of your choice. This person will represent your constituency and become your Member of Parliament. After that, you'll dip your right index finger in ink to show that you've cast your vote. Ensure that you watch as the presiding officer places your unopened ballot into the ballot box. Remember, you're voting for your Member of Parliament and not directly for the party leader, unless they are your Member of Parliament. The party leader that wins the most seats across all 63 constituencies becomes the Prime Minister. Once you've made your vote, it's time for the Electoral Office of Jamaica to count the ballots. Stay tuned to find out what happens after the ballots are in. My name is Krista Fuller, and this has been Notify.
What are your thoughts to the president?
Vote them out!
Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why? You know why? You must vote them out? Not because you're JLP. God don't like us.
Make statements that are
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join me.
You can trust that when you send me to Parliament, you're not have a bench warmer or a table knocker, but you have a champion who is ready to serve you. And so I do not have to ask, but I know no one me ask anyway. Northwest, St. Anne, are you ready? Oh, my comrades, see the signal waving in the sky. Reinforcements now appearing. Victory, victory, victory.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.